Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, all depending on when you're watching. I want to talk to you about two concepts: knowing what you want, right? And then also talk about patience. And inevitably, I want to have a quick conversation about having the patience to get what you want, but I want to talk about that through footwear, right? So I got four shoes that are kind of an example of the whole patience and knowing what you want thing. So when I was coming up in the ninth grade, the varsity team wore this shoe. It's called the Nike Force Air 2 Strong. I love this shoe probably because I was on JV and the varsity team got shoes. I don't think they had to pay for them, and this is just a cool design. And if you look at the bottom, this is a Barkley 94 bottom, but they had a different upper for it. But I love this shoe, and they reissued it, and I couldn't find a black and white colorway, so I just got this Phoenix Suns colorway. But this was a shoe that I fell in love with when I was in the ninth grade, and I was able to get it when I was in my 30s. Now this shoe right here is super dope. There's only two people I know that ever had this shoe: Marius Williams and then Jason Davis. Marius Williams got this shoe, I think, because it didn't have any laces. His mother let him get it because it didn't have any laces. And this is called the Air Carnivore, by the way. It's a cross trainer. All right. So Jason Davis, I seen this brother in this shoe. I thought this was the coldest. First of all, Jason Davis was a cold hooper in high school, right? And so he had this shoe. So I thought that every shoe that this man owned was the dopest, coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. But man, he had this shoe. I remember he would run across country with it, and then he would hoop in it. And man, the design was dope. Now, the colorway he had was a green, gray, black, maybe in white colorway, right? And so I found this 49ers colorway, and I had to cop it. Again, something that I fell in love with when I was in ninth grade. I found it later on when I was much older, right? And then we got the Holy Grail. We got this bad boy right here, right? This is my third 11. It's my third 11, okay? And I always wanted to have a pair of 11s in the toolbox because they make everything look dope, right? So I got a pair when they reissued. The first time when I was in college, I got this pair, gave them away for some fours. I got the Space Jams, gave those away to my good buddy Jay Vick, and then my boy Blake took care of me and got me these. Good looking, Blake. And here's my favorite shoe of all time. My favorite shoe of all time. This is my favorite Jordan silhouette. More favorite than this one right here. This is my favorite Jordan silhouette. And on top of it, it's my favorite colorway. I remember seeing Michael Jordan in this shoe when he was posing for pics for the 92 Olympics. He had on his white jersey, and they didn't have the Olympic 7s out yet. So he wore this one right here. I thought this was the coolest thing on earth. And when I saw it, I thought it was ugly. Like, look at this thing. I thought this shoe was super, super ugly, but I was attracted to it. And I became fascinated, infatuated, like just obsessed with it. And when I finally had an opportunity to cop them, and I did. Here's what I'm saying: know what you love, right? And then have the patience to go after it, because that pursuit is going to be life fulfilling. It's going to give you so much joy. It's going to give you so much satisfaction. It's going to be a pursuit that you can learn a lot from, and that you can transfer to other things in your life. See, when you pursue something that you care about, the life lessons that come in that pursuit and that along that journey, they hit different. You know what I'm saying? There's some lessons that we learn that they hit hard, and we're not always comfortable and accepting and okay with that life lesson and how it hit us, all depending on the pursuit. But there are things along the pursuit of something that we really care for. When we encounter those lessons, we can internalize those things and use them to help ourselves down the line or help other people. See, oftentimes we get caught up in, what does the world tell me I should want, right? The world tells you should want these things, right? Like fast cars. I ain't really into fast cars. I'm not into fast cars. Right now, I got two vans. I got two minivans. And like, I don't care if I pull up in front of a whole bunch of cool people in my minivan. Like, I don't care. Like, I've never been caught up in cars. I don't care about money like that. Like, I don't get caught up in, big bank, take little bank. Like, that's not my thing. But I've always liked what I like, right? And this is something that I love. I've always loved shoes. Not enough to spend all my money on them, but just enough to get the things that I like. I grew up loving basketball, but drawing was my first love. I grew up loving basketball, but drawing was my first love. And I said, man, what if I could make my own signature shoe? What if I could make my own signature design, so on and so forth? And that's what got me into shoe design, looking at the different shoe language and this, that, and the third, and seeing how all the Jordans seem to take a feature from the previous model and add it to the next model, and trying to keep up with who was making this shoe and what does the design do and all the tech and all this other stuff. So all I'm saying is, figure out what you love, and don't let nobody else tell you that you should love this because this is what's cool. No, this is whatever you love is what's cool. Whatever you love is what's cool. And then just have the patience. Have the patience to keep working for it, to keep working on it, so eventually you can either get what you want, or you can eventually showcase your work to the world and inspire someone to do what they're supposed to be doing. I hope that makes sense. My camera lens is like over here, so I'm over here, so I'm probably looking all over the place, but at the end of the day, my name is Marv Fox Jr. and I help highly ambitious people discover their purpose with 2 simple questions. Done.